Sangye Judang Tsuke Sonam La Janjo Bado Dane Kyab Sung Chen Dake Sin So Yebe Sonam Jen Ru La Ben Je Sangye Ru Ba Sho Sangye Judang Tsuke Janjo Bado Dane Kyab Sung Chen Dake Sin So Yebe Sonam Jen Ru La Ben Je Sangye Ru Ba Sho Sangye Judang Tsuke Son Janjo Bado Dane Kyab Sung Chen Dake Sin So Yebe Sonam Jen Ru La Ben Je Sangye Ru. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Is it
Mm.
your morning, Rinpoche?
Yeah, morning 7:45. Uh, Okay, so I think yeah, last time we went through briefly through the six bardos and the reason, sort of like the history, how the teaching of the bardos came to be, and also the reason behind the practice of the bardo. So just roughly we went through. Today we will, I think we've concentrate on Kyawa Bardo, or the Bardo of life becoming, whatever you want to translate into. So the concept Kyawa is used in many different terms, right? First Kyawa is, of course, Dujiki Kyawa, the concept of impermanence. So Dujiki Kyawa, what do we say? Duje, ever ever changing birth. That one, Dujiki Kyawa. So that one is in the concept of what we say, in the concept of impermanence applied in practice in many different forms, I think. So Kyawa Bhardo can be that as well. Then within the concept of karma, then what do you say, kyewa neba jigwa kine jiksum, we say that kyewa again, similar to the same concept of impermanence, but a little bit different in the sense that this includes not just change but the beginning of something as well, right? So this is kyewa. So when we talk about kine jiksum, when you're talking about the concept of time as well, then the same thing, I think, utilization of the same logic is what is it? We bring in the utilization of the same logic, saying that Gewa, Neba, and Jigpa, because of the three different times coming together to existence, therefore the concept of change or continuity happens. I think Kine Juksum is one of the main, not, I mean, not like dependent origination, but one of the main concepts to actually implement the concept of consciousness continuity, right? Or what we call past life and last life, and that sort of concept. So there again, a different kind of kyawa. Then then in the concept of karma, then I think kyawa has to do with the, we say, focal point, meaning what we call in the concept of karma, motivation, we call it, right? So kyawa is through the motivation because it's the beginning of the action, beginning of the karma, creation of the karma. So motivation, and then the motivation leading to the action, and the action leading to the concept that arises after the action. So even when you are doing dharma practice in your daily life, so motivation becomes very important, right? So one of the reasons why every morning when we wake up and we do the, what do we say, morning prayer, one of the first things, uh, I, what do you say, first concepts that we bring up is motivation. So same thing, that is also known as kyawa. Then Ngunji Kyawa is again a different kind of Kyawa that integrates with the concept of what we say, origination, right? So Ngunji Kyawa. So origination, in the concept of origination, then even if you want to develop what we say, conceptual views such as the view of emptiness, when you bring the conceptual view of emptiness, then without starting something at the beginning, when without the what we say, uh, Ngu, we say ngu is ngu and je, right? Ngunje, ngunje, ngu is the what we say the first starting point. So that also in terms of this one also known as kyawa. So anyway, many types of different kyawas. So the state of the bardo, when we understand the state of the bardo through the practice, now different practices, yeah, or everyone utilizes different practices to utilize or bring in understanding of the bardo. I think Rinpoche practices so much on what do we say the concept of what do we say reliving or not reliving reliving the concept of death. That is also a practice in regards to Bardo. Main concept behind the practice itself. So main idea here that we want to develop is that we don't wait for the bardo to practice, yeah. Because within the text, many no, within the what do we say within the teachings itself, what is mentioned that, oh yeah, bardo, if you can what do we say if you can open your realization at the state bardo state, then is like immediate, right? Mm. But then because because that one, then we can get what is a confusion that, oh yeah, we need to wait for the state of Bharata to come so that we can, immediate realization can come. But it's not like that. I think the practice, all these different especially in regards to the sixth part, all these different practices, uh, what do we say is not to wait for the Bharata, but for the Bharata itself, the existing what do we say intermediate state itself, to recognize our practice. Yeah, so mainly is to develop realization. So anyway, this is sort of like a brief concept that comes up when we talk about kyawa, right? So just keep in mind when we talk about kyawa bharto, kyawa, what we say becoming or birth, or what you want to say, life itself, right? Again, life itself, kyawa. Yeah, the whole existence of life happens through the kyawa. Without the kyawa, then the whole existence not happening. So your existence is through kyawa, right? Your existence is through kyawa. So whatever is the conditioning to your existence is also known as kyawa. So we say gyming de la tapa teming la takwa. Yeah, sometimes the labeling, when we are in the concept of philosophy, when we are labeling, then we tend to label things based on the cause and conditioning of it, right? So therefore, within the concept of the practice of bardo, one of the things, kyawa bardo especially, one of the things you bring in is you bring in all the previous cause and conditions, and this is good because Kyawa Bardo is one of the states of the Bardo where what do we say intermediate state, not the true intermediate state, but intermediate state of life right itself. And this one is provided by, like I said, all different cause and conditionings of your existence here right now. And therefore all of those become Kyawa, because the when it comes to labeling, then the labeling, sometimes we say, oh, we label the what we say the conditioning, we label the conditioning based on the cause, and then sometimes we label the cause based on the conditioning, so that on basis of that, and this, I think, practice, again, we'll go through this later on, but the importance of this practice, why, is actually to develop bodhicitta. Yeah? Mm. One of the true means of developing bodhicitta is understanding your cause and conditions. This is where the concept of all mother sentient beings also come. If you do not realize impermanence, then you don't realize continuity. If you don't realize continuity, then you don't realize that all that it took millions of people for you to exist here right now. Yeah, for you to exist, it took your mother, father, then grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, grandfather, then grand. So the whole concept of continuity is already existence there in one lifetime. Then if we talk about multiple lifetime, then the same concept comes in, because what we say, continuity of the mind, changing the vessel, and every vessel there's a conditioning, and that is the conditioning is known as mother, right? We say so. The concept of mother sentient being, this also comes in. So uh, just keep in mind that this is all included inside the concept of kyawa itself, right? So so yeah, so kya bardo. So kya bardo, I think a little bit easier because I think most of us here already practitioners on some level. So we already listen to many teachings. We already listen to many what do we say, instructions, so on and so forth. So kya bardo mainly focus on this life. Yeah. So this one a little bit easier, but then maybe just to refresh the mind, I'll talk about what we say, the concept of life itself, and then the impermanence, what we say, the concept of what we say, bardo, kya bardo, why it is the most important bardo in the six bardos explained. Then on top of that, the precious human rebirth, of course, just like I said, these are motivations that come up. And then the concept of impermanence, core teachings of the bardo itself is impermanence. Bardo is states in between of time, in between of what we say, going from one part to another. This itself is known as bardo. So in the concept of time, kewa neba jigba, right? Kewa is like say kewa bardo, kewa birth. Then neba is existence, neba existence. So within time frame, then kinejixum, the whole existence of time frame, whole existence of impermanence within time frame is keba, what we say, birth, existence, and then what we say, and deformation, or what we call and becoming non-existent in that sense, or changing, right? The concept of change, jigpa is based on the concept of change. So so the impermanence comes in there. Then also the concept of karma, like I said, kewa itself already represents concept of karma, because kewa, if there is birth, then there's death. If there's no birth, then there's no death. Yeah, we cannot use the label of kyawa on something that is permanent. Yeah, we say, oh, the dharmakaya, dharmakaya, kaya, yeah, dharmakaya. Then no jigpa, no kyawa, right? So the kene jigsum, the concept of kene jigsum doesn't come in those contexts. Then we talk about space, kyawa never jigpa. That concept also doesn't exist there. So anyway, anything that is permanent, there's no kyawa, and therefore the kyawa implements the concept of impermanence and the same concept of karma within that. Then we talk about the what do we say, core practices within the bardo of life. Yeah, Gyawa bardo. So within the Gyawa bardo, then what practices we need to implement, because the whole concept, like I said, is not to wait for the, what's it, dhamma, yeah, dhamma bardo, we say, right, the bardo after death. So the whole concept is not to wait for it, but to utilize the bardo that you are in, yeah, the existence that you are in order to develop the mindset, so that we are able to utilize the time, the true bardo, existence of the true bardo, to open the clear light state. So that is there, and I think in regards to clear light state has everything to do with the view of emptiness. Therefore, this one we will go through when we talk about what we say, Dhammabardo, right? So that is there, and then how this life becomes sort of like so basically the same thing. How this life becomes the training point of the true Bardo state, right? So so that I think we mostly includes of that. Ah, everyone's so serious. ah, Again, one practice I always say is the joy need to be existent. Okay, even when practice, no joy, practice uh, not going to flourish. This one, I think I learned one of the uh, greatest example I learned from Gyaltsab Lama Thupten Sopa Rinpoche. Uh, uh, Always joyful. The state of when the state of compassion is there, then joy is automatic. Uh, you don't have to work for joy. Joy appear is like a side effect. You know, some medicine you eat, you don't have to eat in order to get something, but then you eat, then side effect you get it. No, so I think joy is the side effect of compassion, and Rinpoche, someone cheat him, someone misbehave with him, someone do that, some people scam him, so, all kinds of. Then people come with all kinds of different problems in front of him from day, night. Then Rinpoche doing puja all night, always in the state of joy. This one, I think most of you or students of Rinpoche, you already know. I've never seen Rinpoche in the state of, like us, sometimes happy, sometimes down, sometimes miserable, sometimes cranky, sometimes that. I never saw Rinpoche in those states. So joy, in constantly being in the state of joy, I think this again a very, very, very powerful tool in regards to your practice. So. Just to lighten the mood of a little bit. Joy is important. Yeah. Okay. So I think, like I said, because joy is important, therefore, in the state of the bardo, in the state of the kya bardo, bodhicitta is one of the most useful tools in order to awaken or build awareness in the mind to truly awaken. Yeah. Uh, oh yes. I want to achieve clear light state. I want to achieve that. I want to achieve enlightenment. This that. But what is the motivation behind it? What motivates you to do that? I say, oh yeah, I want $1 million. I want this. I want a house. I want car. I want this. What motivates you? If you have things around you that that the what we say, the things around you that are not motivating you, everything, whether it be friends. This is why the concept of Buddha Dharma Sangha is important. It's there to motivate you, not to not to shatter you. So the concept of Buddha Dharma Sangha also the concept of motivation. Buddha, when you talk about Buddha qualities, 108 different qualities of the enlightened mind. Why we talk about qualities in that sense? They motivate you. So the motivation truly comes from from everything we do in our daily life. The motivation needs to be there. If you have no motivation to wake up in the morning, then you sleep until 10, 11, 12. Right? There's something need to be there in order to motivate you to wake up early. Yeah, practice is, I think, what for a lot of practitioners, true practitioners, one of the motivation. Oh, tomorrow morning I need to get up and do this and do that and do this prayer and do my prostration, so on and so forth. So there's also motivation. So I think within the Kya Bharto, different Bhardo states have different motivations. Within the Kya Bhardo, one of the true motivation is what we say, bodhicitta. I mean, the motivation, the true motivation comes from the practice of bodhicitta. Yeah, so beginning with bodhicitta, uh, it's not only for personal peace. I think this one, sometime, 장처럼 rinpoche 마ye panam kikiji kyawanya pa mepa kone kondo pewasho. Yeah, we say this, and then on top of that, then sangye chodon sagi sana 장처 bado dani kasi dagi sagi sana dalaben. Then same the whole concept of this, all these prayers. Sometimes I think a little bit too much. So, so balance again, another concept again. We bring balance into our life. It's a little bit important, even when it comes to practice. Yeah, I always say, if the practice is too much, it starts harming you. Then you know that, oh yeah, maybe it's time to take a break from the practice and actually truly come back to your senses of motivation. Because uh, the one thing that that practice needs to be done through is through motivation. And there's no motivation in your practicing. His Holiness mentions, if you have a parrot and you teach it Om Mani Padme Hum, then it blabbers Om Mani Padme Hum. But whether the benefit is there or not, that's questionable, right? So we don't act like parrots. Yeah, we use our concept, our idea, our views, our perspective, our motivation in order to what we say, stimulate our practice. So this is why the concept of bodhicitta becomes so important, because out of bodhicitta comes joy, and that joy is the true nature of practice itself. I think great practitioner of the past, you look at the practitioners of the past, they don't complain about practice. And because there's joy. When you have joy in something, you don't complain about it. You don't complain about the 1 month holiday you get after working 11 months, right? Yeah. After 11 months of working, when you get a 1 month holiday, you embrace it. You truly, truly embrace it. Yeah. So utilization of the joy is very important in the practice, in especially in the Kya Bardo state. Then comes the concept, oh, but we are in samsara, we are suffering, we are that, we are this. Why joy? We shouldn't joy. I think some practitioners, when you have hardcore practitioners, yeah, I like to call them hardcore practitioners. Yeah, when you have hardcore practitioners, then everything has to be serious. Oh, this, after this, and the motivation that always constantly, I think there's a little bit too much pressure on the mind. Uh, you want your mind to achieve, but you want your mind to joyfully achieve, and this is also comes back in the state of what do we say in the state of the teaching of the bodhisattva, achieving of the bodhisattva path. Yeah, when we talk about effort, Jimba Tsuldim, Soba Tsundu, yeah, within the what do you say, six paramitas, when you talk about effort, we're always talking about joyful effort. Yeah, one of the core practices of the bodhisattva in regards to effort is joyful effort. It's not just effort. It's not just putting effort. So anyway, that is there. Uh, so anyway, we talk about. I mean, we talk about what do we say, samsara, then suffering, then lower realms. Then through that, then we talk about cause and conditioning, and then creating the cause and conditions in order. So anyway, so it always begins in the Kyo Bardo, it always begins with the practice of bodhicitta. I think this is the core practice of the Kyo Bardo, developing bodhicitta. And there's many reasons behind this. They say the what we say, the human realm is one of the best realms to develop bodhicitta. Yeah, a lot of the other realms, you look at the godly realms, full of uh, power struggle. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word, but something like power struggle. Yeah, constant power struggle. uh, when it comes to what do we say, uh, uh, divine abilities, when it comes to divine uh, mundane power, so on and so forth. You read the Mahabharata. This is the what do we say, the godly stories. Yeah, they call it Mahabharata. If you read Mahabharata, then you start to see they have no time to contemplate about uh, about samsara. They have no time to develop bodhicitta. Constantly they have to, they're struggling for power. Yeah, I think it's similar to politics in the world. If we in the world that we are in, then it's similar to politics. I think they have no time to think about the nation and the people of the nation. They are always, of power struggle. Who can come up first? Who can win the election? Who can do that? Who can this? So I think something similar. When your time is completely consumed by things like that, then you have no time to to truly generate. So even in the higher realms, very hard to develop. Not saying that there isn't any possibility of developing. There is. There are stories of bodhicittas being developed in the lower realms as well as in the higher realms. But then, like, possibility is like very very close to nil. Yeah, like winning the lottery in some sense. Everyone is putting, but no one. So something like that, I think, in the sense. Mm. Then second one, if we talk about the lower realms, yeah, then talking about the animal realm is the same thing. Constant fear, survival. And then also, when it comes to the mindset, is not in the right state where it can contemplate on these things. Then this one, I think, lower realms such as hell realm and all of this. Then we know these states are very hard to develop bodhicitta, because it's truly devastating to feel, internally feel, not just mental pressure, but internally feel your physical, what do we say, abilities, what do we say, being drained out. Yeah, so in the cold hell and the hot hell we talk about, these places, constant is only constant concentration on what do we say, receive, or what do we say, developing the courage, the strength, just the strength itself to to walk one day at a time. We say, my teacher used to say, Kande teacher used to say, don't be like you know uh, hand to mouth beggar. One day thinking just about one day, oh, today, you don't think about tomorrow. Yeah, so something like that. I think it's constant, just survival for the day, one day. So when you're in that kind of state, then development of bodhicitta, because bodhicitta has to be motivated. Yeah, like I said, there has to be joy, there has to be motivation. There no motivation, no joy, constant suffering, then a little bit hard. So again, the state, this is why it's called the precious human rebirth, right? So in that state, we in the Kyawa Bardo, this is the state of the Kyawa Bardo. So utilizing this precious human rebirth in order to develop the joy and the necessary ability is extremely important. So anyway, that is, I think, the core practice, yeah, of the state of Kyawa Bardo. Then through that, I think one of the main, like I said, last time we were talking about, Pardo, the state of transition, yeah, one place to another. I think if you want to think, if it makes it easier to see the concept, then I think it's more like in the West you have train, right? So you go from one train to the other, then place in between the trains, so something like that. So every state, when you go from one state to another, is like the journey itself is called the what do we say, we call intermediate state, right? So that one, the concept of bardo. Then through that, I think um through that, the Kyawa Bardo, like I said, Kyawa Bardo starts from the Kyawa until the Chiwa, right? Chiwa is the state, the process, the process of death. So within the process of the death, now we will talk about that, because there's Chiva Pardo as well, the Kiva Pardo and Chiva Pardo. So anyway, within that there is its own concept of building the useful means and methods in order to practice. So within the Kiva Pardo, the useful is, I think, one of the most useful things within the Kiva Pardo, that we can utilize our mind. Yeah, this is something that we forget a lot. We think, oh, yeah, sentient beings, oh, that, these teachers, guru, practice, that, this, all of these are important. Yes, these are important. But without the mind, all of this is, what do we say? You cannot do all of that. So so your most precious tool within the Kya Bardo, and within most states of the bardo, unless your mind is occupied, yeah, some bardo states your mind is totally occupied. I think the example they give is sleeping. When your mind is resting, then your mind is not functioning. No, the awareness level is down. Even though awareness is there, the awareness level is down. So that, unless you bring that in, then yeah. So most important aspect of the what we say, of utilizing is the mind. So generally, within the Kyawa Bardo, first state of your practice is understanding your mind. Yeah, understanding your mind, understanding the value of your mind. Yeah, I think even when developing bodhicitta, I always say, developing bodhicitta, of course, is what do we say, is stimulated by sentient beings, yeah, by the concept of samsara. But the stimulation is happening in the mind. So if the mind is not, if the mind is unwell, then the practice of others and practice of sentient beings and practice, that cannot happen. That truly cannot happen. And this is not just, I think, not just teaching is within the teachings. It's practical. Try to sit down, and when someone, what is it, makes you angry, when someone makes you frustrated, when someone makes you, all your emotions boil up, That time, try to think about samsara, try to think about suffering. You think your situation going to get better? You think you're going to be able to deal with the situation better? No, everything goes sideways, as we say. No. Yeah. One of the things we tend to do a lot is what do we say in the English word we say kidding yourself. Are you kidding yourself? Yeah, you use that phrase. Are you kidding yourself? so so even in this, I always say, are you kidding yourself? You think in your mind, are you kidding yourself? You're supposed to be a practitioner, huh? What is happening here? Where's the emotions going? Where's the motivation and the thoughts going? Oh yeah, oh yeah, I practice this, I do that. Morning I wake up, evening I do this, I develop guru devotion, bodhicitta, that this. I know all of the. Uh, what are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Yeah. So the concept of understanding true nature of practice is to be true to yourself. I think this is one very 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 important aspect of practice, especially in the Bardo state. You be true to yourself. Uh, in practice, there's nothing to prove to others. Yeah, practice happening within. No one can. Yeah, Buddha himself say. Yeah, one person, one being cannot what we say judge, cannot what we say validate the other being's mindset. Cannot. So if you want others to know you, understand you, respect you, this, that, for the things that we are doing right now, then is the whole concept of who are you kidding concept, I think. So sometime when the ego, when the the what is it, the grasping attitude, the ego start to go up, then you remind yourself, who are you kidding? Yeah, the world is much more bigger than what your mind is, in the sense in the what is the validation sense. The when it comes to practice, there are much greater practitioners all over the universe. Yeah. Then even when it comes to your own ability to practice, then what you are utilizing, especially in regards to wanting pride and wanting to prove that you are something, that also we contemplate, we start to see, who am I kidding? So again, I think this one is important to generate, I think, especially if you're practicing bodhicitta. And I always say bodhicitta is a practice of inclusion. Inclusion? Yeah, inclusion. I think inclusion you can say. Yeah, where you include. So building the sphere of inclusion is basically the practice of bodhicitta. The bigger the inclusion, the sphere of inclusion, your bubble of inclusion grows, then the bodhicitta, that's where you say the bodhicitta is growing. Semje thamje dewa dang dewe gyuza denpa yuje. Semje thamje dunga da dunga yi gyuza. When we are reciting these things in the words, we are saying all mother sentient beings free from suffering and its causes of suffering. But you look at your mind, how much of these words the mind is truly accepting is completely different. Then you meet a Simje who maybe who crosses your lane when you are driving. Does that sentient being, is that sentient being included inside? Yeah, a sentient being and or you're facing who's not very kind. So these, I think, in reality, these practices, when it comes to application, you start thinking these practices, these are quite, if the joy is not there, then it's quite hard. So anyway, this all of this is coming from the concept of developing bodhicitta, right? Mm, mm. Bodhicitta is the concept of inclusion, yeah, building your circle of inclusion. Then the view of emptiness is to negating the grasping attitude, yeah, the core grasping attitude. The view of emptiness, the application, the means, the true reason behind the application of the view of emptiness. So that is also there. Yeah. Then I think within the concept of bodhicitta is also I think on the baseline of developing, like I said, on the baseline of developing bodhicitta, it comes down to understanding your mind. uh, your mind being able to structure your mind in a way where there's joy in the practice. You're not doing it out of different intentions. And this is where the manipulation happens. I call it the internal manipulation, right? Yeah, outside external manipulation, distraction, that one is there. That is a whole different thing that we need to work on. But internally, what you tell yourself, yeah, mentally, what we are telling ourselves each and every second. That's also if the reasoning and the logic and the concept is not validated, then that is also distraction. That is also a mental manipulation in some ways. So anyway, the practice consists of that. So this is why I'm sharing this. Uh, and then I think then after that, uh, now when we look at our mind, then we say, okay, the state of our mind right now is in one state, yeah, the state of birth. So because the state of birth and the coexistence of the body, this body that I have right now, yeah, with the hand and with the face and with the with the arm and with the leg, this one is momentary, exist only throughout the time period of when I was born till when I die. That one we understand, right? This is again true innate understanding of the bardo itself, that oh yeah, is the concept of impermanence in the same concept. That this is the state I have to achieve things in order to so on and so forth. And now, because utilization of this body is necessary, yeah, different bardo have different body. Yeah? So utilization of this body is necessary, even though this body is what do we say conditioned by samsaric karma. We say karmic samsaric what is the conditioning. Even though this body, there's all of this suffering and sickness and change and that, and even though that, still I have the time to utilize it. You put your hands in front of you like this. You want to move it? You can move it. You want to relax it? You can relax it. This is freedom. Yeah. How much we are so, what we say, I think, what is the word? Uh, 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 I forgot the word. Anyway, we are so uh, 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 so so used to, like, it's I don't know how to say it, no, like if you're used to a comfortable bed, sleeping in a comfortable bed, right, then you don't what do we say, you don't see it as precious. This one, I think I've seen this experience happen. When I went trekking one time, then one of the people in when we were trekking, uh, uh, at home, very comfortable, soft, nice bed maybe. So up there, you utilize what you get. So, so hard bed, then cannot sleep. Then that's when she, oh, I have such a good bed, so precious, so nice, so good sleep. But until then, there's no, so I think the same thing with our life as well, with our body as well. The moment when it starts to fade away, then we start to see, oh yeah, precious. Oh, well. I think even with our own experience, that one happens with our family and the ones that we are, the mother nurture, and it happens a lot in the West, I think. The mother nurture the kid up, bringing up that this, then taking care of it, what do we say, uh, 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 what do we say, growing up and so on and so forth. Then later on, 18 years, then you get fed up of the mother. Then you say, I want to move out. I want to get my own place. Then move out, get your own place. Then maybe once a year you see during Christmas, during this, sometime you see, then happy. Then moment comes when the mother gets sick, something happened like that. Then crying, oh, I wish I had more time. I wish I had this. I wish I could contribute here, there. Too late. So I think same concept with our body also. If you see it precious and you learn to utilize it at the time while you have the time, then that is true utilization. So this is again same concept of the preciousness that comes. So that is there. Then okay, then I think yeah. So the human body, I think the nature of the human body, even though it's a nature, samsaric nature, still it's very useful. Still, I can do a lot with it. I can achieve a lot with it. I think this is real. I always tell the story. I don't know if what I'm saying is true or not, but then from me, it seems like that. That when after Buddha sat 6 years under the tree eating one grain of rice, that's when he finally got the realization. Oh, I actually need to utilize. I can't let this body die off like this. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, right now I have the body, so I need to utilize it in the best way possible. Yeah, so this is again another awakening, I think, awakening state. So yeah, so this bardo, because of this body, then this bardo becomes so useful in utilizing all kinds of different things. Then because we have the eye, we see suffering. Mm. And then because of our tactile senses, then we feel suffering. Yeah, because we have our ear, then we hear the reasons of suffering. Yeah, then so anyway, because of these different functions of the body, therefore we are able to truly realize the true nature of our existence, samsara. Samsara is there. Yeah, whether it be logic, whether it be through sense, whether you look every aspect of our body, we see the existence of samsara in it. And this is not to make you depressed. Yeah, some people they go to course, then in the course they talk about suffering, death, hell ram, this, that. Sounds very depressing. They get depressed, they come out. But this is not to depress you, this is to motivate you. Uh, Motivate you because you see it. Then you every when you see people suffering every day, then it motivates slowly it motivates you to do something about the situations around. When the news tells, oh, there was a, I don't know, earthquake, there was a what do you call that, typhoon, cyclone, when there was tsunami, then they show all the people suffering, the what kind of feeling does that arise make arise in you? Then you want to help. Oh, you're donating to different, what we say, different what do we say, different thing, different things people are doing in order to help them. No, you donate and you do whatever you can. You say, I also want to contribute. When someone comes to you and says, no, well, I don't have this, my mother is sick, I don't have money, how, what does that make you do? You want to help and you want to contribute. So utilizing the senses in order to understand samsara, this is I think the more important aspect of the practice itself. So first point, I think, yeah, the human body. Then second one is the access to, I think, the access to Dharma. This one, this one, I think there's a little bit of contradiction in regards to how the access happens. Yeah, I'm totally against the practice of tantra before the right moment, as they say. Because uh, uh, my teacher always reminded me, without renunciation, bodhicitta, and the view of emptiness, then practicing tantra can be sort of more of an obstacle than be a true practice. This one, but then. I'm telling you this story because we're talking about the access to dharma. So then nowadays, teachers and all of that, they're saying, oh yeah, highest yoga tantra here, high yoga tantra this, this practice here, this practice this. They're giving all of these things out, all of the mm, Sawa Sangdu, Sawa is secret practices here and there, even when the people are not ready. Then they say, oh, we are not going to have access to the Dharma later on. So we have to give it now. But also the concept of Kali Yuga, what do we call degenerate times. There they say, oh, nowadays degenerate time. So I said, last time when I was talking in Laudo, I told them, we were discussing and I was saying, how is it degenerate time? Now is the time that you have the most access to anything you want. Yeah, you want to listen to teaching, you can sit in your room and listen to teaching. Yeah, yeah, you want to listen to, you want to see your guru, you can. I want to see His Holiness teaching. I just go to YouTube, Holiness. There you go, Holiness pops up. Yeah, I want to go and research in this textbook. Google, text, you type it, pops up. My teacher used to say when he was studying up in Serra in the old days, then they had, I think, in their class they had just a few books, so they had to share the books around, and you would get the book maybe 1 2 days a month. And this is why the memorization, they are so good at memorizing. They had to memorize everything for a month in advance, because they wouldn't get the book. And even when they got the book, they will only get it for 2 3 days. So they say that my teacher used to say he used to sit up at night, burn the incense so that you can read the book at nighttime. So memorize like that. Nowadays, so many books. Now last time I went to Serra, we went to this place where they, what do you call this, Churden, where they put all the books. Now too many books. Everyone, they don't know where to put, so now they are putting in this Tata house and all of this, stacking up with books. So is it degenerate time, or is it more, a time where there's what is abundance? And this one you decide. Yeah, I think it's more of an abundance time than degenerate time. But still, I think conceptual difference is there. So, however you want to believe, this is definitely totally up to our own mind. Yeah, the reasoning and the logic behind it. So anyway, Dharma. When it comes to Dharma, I always say this is time of abundance. It's such a beautiful time, even though there's chaos everywhere. And this chaos is also good. I always say your practice becomes better when you get nearer to death. Yeah, because the fear starts to go up, the questioning starts to go up. Yeah, now you're more focused than ever. Yeah, when you're young, you're focused on boyfriend, you're focused on face, looks, fashion, that, this, you're focused on entertainment, all of those things. But as you get older, these things die down. These things slowly disappear. You start to question about your life. You start to question. So even practice gets better. So even, I think, even in regards to samsara at the moment, when you see chaos here, chaos there, in some ways, I think it's you. If you can utilize that, then it can be such an amazing way to utilize to actually uh, develop the path. But that, like I said, is totally up to you, right? Totally up to the mind, how the mind wants to see. If you say, oh, yeah, yeah, it's a degenerate time, I cannot do, it's not like before. Before, bodhisattvas used to, India used to be known as the land of the bodhisattva. You would see people flying all here and there. I mean, if you want to believe that, then the different, up to you. And now, no one flying, we can't do anything, degenerate time, degenerate time. Then this becomes like a mantra for you. So then what to do, right? But if you truly contemplate, then you see, oh, this is actually one of the best times to actually develop bodhicitta. You look around, you look at the suffering, you look at the conditions. Because it's the degenerate time, therefore there's more suffering, and therefore more necessary to develop. Yeah. Be inspired by it. Not take it as an excuse to not do, but be inspired by it. I think this is, yeah, I think for me, I think this is such an important point. So anyway, the Dharma, when it comes to the Dharma, like I said, even though they say, oh yeah, degenerate time Dharma, I think now Dharma is abundance time. Yeah, we have abundance of Dharma here, there, everywhere. Even just sitting in your room, you can, whole day you can go through Dharma your whole time. So how you want to utilize this up to you, but then still, yeah, uh, like I said, abundance is there. Yeah, last time you want to listen to a Lamrim teaching, then you need to wait. Oh, when is His Holiness going to give Lamrim teaching? Then, oh yeah, this time in this year in Bodh Gaya, then you need to book tickets. You need to come all all the way from hundreds of miles just to receive a teaching by His Holiness on that. Now you just type tick, 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 tick on your computer. Teaching is right there in front of you. So I think abundance is there. Yeah, how you want to utilize, like I said, to us. Yeah. Then the third one is a capacity of the conscious choice and reflection. Yeah. So like I said, reflection also such an amazing part of it. Of the part of the situation and where we are right now. Yeah. Mm. Today you have a question on a certain aspect of the teaching, then you can go and you can type it in, and now even AI is even more amazing if you can utilize it in that exact same way, right? You go on AI, and then you type, okay, if you want to listen to I don't know, let's say His Holiness teaching on clear light meditation, then you go to AI and you say, okay, when did His Holiness teach the clear light meditation? Da, 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 da. Then he will give you the dates. Tuk, 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 on this day, or here, that, like this. Then you also the links to where you can go and where you can check and how you can study. Yeah, all of that. So useful information. And if you're utilizing the right way, then of course, definitely. So anyway, reflection is there. Then I think, like I said, the choices. Yeah, most of you already senior practitioners. So when it comes to that, then you have gone through the study of karma, cause and conditioning. Uh, I think the cause. A lot of people use karma as an excuse. I always say karma is not an excuse. Karma is I think, sort of like the awakening bell, as we say, the awakening bell to your true freedom. Because of karma, we have choices. Because of karma, we have conditioning. Because of karma, we have the means to understand the right means and methods. So now you say, okay, I know the right means and the method. Then you utilize your choice to utilize the right means and methods. No? So this, I think, freedom. Instead of saying, oh, I'm stuck in this body, I'm in samsara, I'm suffering, I'm that, I'm this, if you can understand the nature of impermanence itself, then you see, yeah, it's impermanence, and therefore I can change it. It's not permanent. Yeah, because it's impermanent, therefore it's interchangeable. Because it's impermanent, therefore what it consists of cause and condition, and based on cause and condition, then the effects arise. Yeah, there's a great teaching where where it's mentioned. If you want to look at what you were in the past, then look at your situation right now. If you want to know where you're going in the future, then look at your situation right now. Full freedom. You have choice. Where you want to go is also a choice. Oh, because of karma, I might go here. I might be born as that. I might be born as this. This one is because you're not utilizing. Then it's when you're not utilizing the means, then it becomes might. When you're utilizing the what do we say, the means and the methods, then it's not might, it's will. Right? If I utilize destructive emotions, anger, hatred, killing, stealing, stabbing, that, this, then it's will, right? I will be born. Then if you don't know your actions, then I might be born. But then when you're utilizing, then there's no fear because you know you will be born. And this is how the great Mahasiddhis, practitioners, utilize their life. Then there's no fear because they know once they're passed away, the rebirth is in a higher realm, in a better situation. So the fear completely disappears. This is true freedom, no? So anyway, something to uh, uh, what do you say? Something to think about. So anyway, that is that. So the capacity of the consciousness, and I think a very important reflection in regards to choice and in regards to utilizing, utilization. So uh, uh, even though it's mentioned, if you fail here, there's no second opportunity later. Even though it's mentioned, I think for me, I always say it's never too late. Even though you say it's failed, I always say it's never too late, right? never too late to start. When even in practice, it's the same thing. It's never too late to start. There are great practitioners who actually who look at Milarepa. I think Milarepa's story is one of the key points of the practice when it comes to utilization of time. Even after killing 23 people, uh, even after destroying out of hatred, building so much hate and all of that, studying black magic out of hate and killing, still utilize the time. And then people say, oh, but he met Marpa, and this Marpa is all because of Marpa. No, you can meet a great being, but then you can say, nah, I don't want to. This is where the choice comes, right? It's based on his choice that made the difference in his practice. Yeah. So that is there. And if you like I said, some I always say, uh, when the mindset is not at the right point, then even if there's gold in front of you, then we don't realize there's gold in front of us. We don't see it precious. So I think this is important aspect of looking at things. Then uh, 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 then comes the concept of impermanence, I think, right? This one is to do with reflection. Yeah. If I die today, if I die tonight, uh, uh, what is my product that is meaningful in regards to my own practice? Uh, I think thinking about all mother sentient beings is one side of it. The other side of it, there's always a little bit of a self-cherishing mind here and there, unless you go into the tantric path and you're able to, negate the grasping attitude at the very, 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 very subtle level. The subtle level grasp attitude exists. Even on the bodhisattva path, it exists. A subtle level. This is the whole story of who was it? I think it was anyway, the story of the Pavotome, Pavotome, where he went, where Manjushri was manifesting all kinds of different means and methods to awaken his mind. So anyway, this is the same thing. So so utilizing that, right? Ah, uh, what else? Where was I? Uh, uh, Yeah, so impermanence. Sorry, I got lost here. So yeah, impermanence. So the concept of impermanence, yeah, I think again establishment of the core teachings of the Kyawa Bardo, because the Kyawa itself represents, like I mentioned at the beginning, Kyawa itself represents impermanence. Kyawa itself represents cause and condition. Kyawa itself represents what is the concept of time. Yeah, so through that, yeah, then there is the concept of impermanence that comes into play. And I always say, when it comes to impermanent, yeah, there's no difference between impermanence, between cause, between condition, between uh, uh, dependent origination, between karma. These are all synonyms. We utilize different words at different times, but at the end of the day, it's all synonyms, same exact meaning. This one we can figure out logically. Is there something that is impermanent but not continuing? No. Is there something that is a cause and not impermanent? No. Is there something that is a cause and not a condition? If it's a cause, then it's also a condition. It's a cause for the future, is the condition of the past. It's a cause and a condition both. Is it not continuity? Yes, it is the past into the future. That is what karma is, no? Cause and conditioning. So there's no difference between all of that. It's the same, exact same thing. And sometimes we think about karma, then we think destined. When we talk about cause and conditioning, then we think, oh yeah, we have ability to change it. We think about continuity, then we think, oh yeah, always moving, 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 sort of like everlasting, sort of moving, sort of thing. But this move is happening based on the choices, based on the conditioning. The whole concept of dependent origination is based on that. That's also the whole concept of view of emptiness. Dependent origination is the core logic behind establishing the view of emptiness. So the concept of impermanence, such an important concept to develop within the state of Bardo, because you see change throughout your day, you see change throughout your life, you see change everything around you. So utilizing that, and now I think we are, as human beings, we are a little bit rebellious against the concept of impermanence. This is where the concept of permanence comes into play. Yeah, even with our own nature, we try to make it permanent. And nowadays, you have what is it, Botox, you have plastic surgery, you have this, that, all of those things. Utilizing trying to utilize the concept of permanence, trying to make it permanent in some sense. We are fighting against reality, fighting against nature. We want to make this permanent, we want to make that permanent, we want to make everything around permanent. My house, we think my house is permanent, we make deals and that and this, and we make plans for the future. Oh yeah, everything we try to make permanent. Not that you shouldn't utilize it, but then to utilize it in the wrong way, then the realization of impermanence stops. And when the realization of impermanence stops, then everything starts to crumble down. Like I said, dependent origination is based on impermanence. Karma is based on impermanence. Cause and condition is based on impermanence. Yeah, even the concept of past and future life, the continuity of the mind is based on impermanence. Where does the concept of continuity come from? It comes from the concept of impermanence. So there's so much establishment that you can establish around the concept of impermanence itself. All practice, without it, the concept of impermanence, practice will make no sense. If it's not impermanent, then why practice? Yeah. If I'm permanent, then why practice? Yeah? Makes no sense. If suffering is permanent, then why practice? If there's no freedom from the liberation of suffering, then why practice? So even when it comes down to the concept of practice itself, then through the concept of impermanence, you can, what do we say, develop inspiration in practicing as well. So impermanence, like I said, is such an basis. Yeah, it's very, very basic. It seems very basic, but it's the basis that touches every single practice. From the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths is also about impermanence. It's cause condition, cause condition. Suffering, cause of suffering. Yeah, condition and cause. Yeah, then cessation and path to cessation. The cause and condition. Again, back to impermanence. Yeah, you look at the 12 links of dependent origination. How does it link? Why do we say link? Because it's linked by cause and condition. So everything evolves around the concept of impermanence. This is why developing a very clear understanding of the concept of impermanence becomes extremely important. Everything, every practice, everything based on cause and condition. Even logic is based on cause and condition. I say, oh, you must do this every morning, and you say, why? Now I need to give you reason. This is cause and conditioning. Yeah. Question and answer is based on cause and conditioning as well. So everything is a wholization. If I can wash away your suffering like I can wash away with water your suffering like this, then I would have. If sentient beings suffering can be eliminated by my hand like this, then I would have. It cannot be. Your suffering cannot be with the hand like this. Nowadays, Lama come, then put the hand in top of your head like this. Uh, then you feel like, oh, all my suffering are gone. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it really doesn't work like that. And then this is the word of the Buddha. This is not something that is making up. Yeah? This is what My what do you say? My wisdom cannot be transferred. I'm showing you the truth. This is the only method that I can that I figured out is showing you the truth. The truth, impermanence. So one of the truths again, I think very, very important to establish in every practice. And this can be done through the state of bardo. Different states a little bit hard. Yeah, you look, for example, if I just give you an example, if you are tired and you sleep today, 9 p.m. you sleep, yeah, you go and sleep. Then when your awareness is gone, this what we say, the consciousness, when the conscious awareness is gone, then time flies by like this. There's no state of realization while you are in deep in sleep. There's no state of awareness when you are in deep in sleep. This is a different state again. This is why utilizing the Bharto state is so important. Not the Kyawa Bhardo, but the Bhardo Bhardo state. Because the Bhardo Bhardo state is something similar to that. My teacher used to say, if you sleep with a pure intention, good motivation, then the whole night you actually create what we say merit. Because the conditioning is already there. The effect is creation. This you think about. This is the true nature of the Bhardo Bhardo state. I think at the Bhardo Bhardo state is utilizing that time and creating merit in Solam. One of the states of the accumulation is in the Bhardo state. One of the best states of the accumulation is in the Bhardo state. Solam. Lot of beings when they go into meditation, they go into the state. What we say. Uh, Kangzuni is like they go into the state willingly, like they do everything so that they go into the state, because that state is such an amazing state to actually accumulate. It's like investment, I think. Yeah, you put the money, then don't worry about it. Then 10 years later, you come back, your money has doubled. Yeah, something like that. That is the Bharata state. So utilizing that, yeah. And then in order to be able to utilize that, you need, like you say, if in order to invest, then you need the money first, no? You need the savings. So that is where you are working. This is where the Kyawa Bharata is, where you can actually work into develop. And I think one of the most important things that you can utilize is the state of the mind. Yeah. Developing your state of the mind. This is where development comes. This is where practice comes. So anyway, coming back to that, the concept of impermanence. Yeah. So through that, then we have what do we say? The realization of death itself. I think if you talk about Lamrim, yeah, Chiwamidakpa. Chiwamidakpa is what? Death and impermanence. Yeah. So that whole concept of Chiwamidakpa is in order to develop the concept of impermanence. And then also, of course, in between that, then you have death. I mean, I don't think I should talk too much about death and and all of that. But then, just to give you an idea on why these are taught. These are taught in order to encourage you not to, not to feel bad or to be scared or to. They're not that. That's not the reason. If you feel scared when you read. Yeah, when you read the books of death and that and this and Lamrim and all of this, if you feel scared and you feel your mind is, what do we say, shaking, then better not study. Yeah, because this is, like I said, the whole practice, the whole reason behind the practice is to encourage you, not to scare you. So that is important, I think. Then we have what is a subtle impermanence, right? Each moment of the mind arises and dissolves. That itself, the consisting of arising and dissolving. That itself is again connected to your realization of your own impermanence, right? So the mind itself. Then I think this practice can be more this was a gross and subtle practice, subtle, whatever you want to call it, subtle. Yeah. So that practice is more involved in the negation part, I think. Yeah. So subtle. What do you say? Arising of the nature of the I. Yeah, the grasping attitude nature of the I. This one, even in the state of tantra, is still practiced. So this is a long practice, but then utilizing the understanding right now, utilizing the teachings in order to understand right now, this can be later on utilized in the bardo state, right? So that is there. So anyway, concept of that. Then in regards to in regards to, I mean, of course, many practice in regards to impermanence, right? Your own body is again a different kind of practice, your own body aging, dissolving, your all observation of all of this itself is a clear realization, developing clear realization. Yeah. Then observing through, what do we say, dissolving of matters, of objects, of things around you. That's also important practice in regards to realization of impermanence. Anyway, so that one coming through the what do we say, coming through the concept to realize uh, where we are attached to, and now we are starting to go into the concept of the three poisons. Yeah, the three poisons. What is attitude? Yeah, so the I, the nature of the I itself. So now we're going deeper into nature of the I. So through that, I think immediate uh, realization of the I, because the I is the one who is grasping into the concept of permanence, grasping into what needs to be, what is, what has to be. These things is the grasping, is the whole nature of it. So realizing that through the concept of impermanence, then you start to say, why practice impermanence? Why practice all of these things? Is to realize the true nature of it. Yeah? Why am I going against true nature? Why am I going against this one, ultimate truth? Why am I creating ultimate truths, conventional truths in the mind? Yeah, because this is what our mind does. Our mind always telling us about conventional truths, right? Oh yeah, this matters, that matters. What you think matter, what she think matter, what they think matter. Yeah, what they say matter. Yeah, what I think here and there and this and that. All this matters. Yeah. Then what society think matter, what this thing matter. So many things that matter. That in ultimate reality, just another flickering of a time. Yeah, one moment it's here, next moment it's gone. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh, this one there. It's like ghost, I think. We think about in the early days, uh, uh, we didn't have any concept of ghost. Then one time when I was young, we had CDs. You call CDs? Yeah, watch movies in the CD. So we had movie CDs, and that time one movie came out called Casper. Have you heard about Casper? Casper, the friendly ghost. The concept of ghost arise. So anyway, something like that, I think. Yeah, one moment it's there, one moment not there. So uh, what matters is your mind matters. What matters is what your mind can achieve. That matters. What matters is reality around you. That matters. And these are the things true mattering. Yeah, the truth of the samsaric existence, cycling existence, the concept of continuity and consistency. I mean, continuity and impermanence developing throughout time, knowing that there is, means to end all of this. These things matter truly. This is more ultimate level. Today I say something bad to you, then you think, oh, it matters, it matters, it matters. Then this concept of it matters takes you all the way down into depression, anxiety. Eh, I don't know how that matters, but it matters. So anyway, yeah. mm, Keyways. I think these are the keys. Demigoche, yeah, demigoche. These are the keys to open the door of true practice. Uh, uh, important aspects of, especially, and this we're talking about all of these because all of these keys that utilize to open the door of liberation is most well used or most valuably used, especially in this state of Kyawa, Kyawa state, Kyawa Bardo, the Bardo of birth, or it was a Bardo of Kyawa. Yeah. So in this state is utilized in its most beneficial way because our mind has freedom to think. Yeah, our body, even though sometimes consists here, there, sickness, that, this, even it's there, like I said, instead of fearing all of this, if you utilize this is what Rinpoche does, I think. Yeah, you're all students of Kyabje Lama, students of Rinpoche. Such an amazing, what do you say, idol. Yeah, that's such an amazing idol because Rinpoche constantly utilizing when Rinpoche had stroke, when Rinpoche was suffering. That I remember. Yeah, when someone says, "Oh, Rinpoche, this, that, I have this problem, that this is happening, that is happening," then Rinpoche, you have such a good opportunity to utilize it. Yeah, this is a reminder. It's such an amazing reminder. So instead of putting yourself down, shallowing yourself, making your mind, crushing your mind like this, you open your mind, utilize what is there in front of you to deal with the nature of the mind. Yeah, if someone close to you dying, then you utilize your mind. You utilize that feeling in order to reach a higher state of realization. It's nothing. It's a realization. I don't think realization is any different. It's not like you. And normally we think, oh yeah, you'll grow wings and your body turns into light, and I think in the Christian concept, then some kind of ring appears on your head. It's not like that. And then if you're bad, then horns start to grow from your head. It's not like that. Yeah, the state is same. Is exactly the same. It's just the realization of true things. This is why chungi demba demba ye. Chungi means truth. Realizing the truth is the most important aspect. Enlightenment, state of enlightenment is the state of realizing the truth. So putting effort in knowing the truth, that is the important, I think the most important aspect of practice. In order to realize the truth, now you need to do a lot of different things. Some people, and then the means of practice is different. Some people like that, some people like this, some people like contemplating, some people like meditating, some people like ritual, praying and ritualing, all these different things. So this is different means into the same achieving the same thing. But what is the achievement? The achievement is realization. And what realization you say is the realization of the truth. Yeah. So again, utilizing the state of the bardo to realize the truth. Yeah, that is I think the core of it. So through that, I think then I think we come impermanence. Like I said, impermanence no different from karma. Exactly the same. Yeah, we like to use it in different terms, but it's same meaning, same logic behind it, same concept. One of the truths. Yeah, cause and condition. That's it. Yeah. So within karma, now you say when you think about karma, then you need one of the things that you need to think about is every action comes from a planted seed. Every tree here, every tree growing around you comes from something planted there. Without the plantation, then the seed does not grow into the tree. Right, so everything, every action, yeah, even realizing the truth. How do you realize the truth? You plant seeds of the truth, so then the realization of the truth comes, no? So karma, you start to see, yeah, now I have the freedom, even if I don't realize, I have the freedom to choose to realize. I have the freedom to plant the seeds of the realization. And this is what we are utilizing. This is what practice is all about. Building consistency. Yeah, building mental patterns in understanding, logic. All of these are what means and methods to developing Yeah, what we say, utilizing the concept of karma in order to develop true realization. So again, like I said, this is what we say, the utilization of understanding karma. Some say, oh yeah, what do you do understanding karma? What is the benefit of understanding karma? Yes, everything cause and what is the benefit of understanding cause and effect? The benefit of understanding karma, cause and effect is that now you know that you have the choice to create conditions. You have a valid reason to create conditions. And if you see the result of the conditions, then you have joy in creating those conditions. That's where the joy comes in. In many texts, the 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 first thing teaching, first teaching is in regards to qualities of the Buddha or the enlightened mind. 108, 108 qualities. Yeah. So the reason why these qualities are mentioned at the beginning of the teaching is to see the result. Now, once you see that, then you see joy in it. No, if I say, oh, if you do something like this, then there will be something. Yeah, what we say, anonymous, no, not knowing. Then it's like, oh, maybe I don't know what. Maybe I get a pile of shit. Maybe I get a pile of gold. Who knows, right? But this is not like that. This is showing you the gold. Here is the physical gold. Yeah, this is what you will receive. Then there's joy in doing it. No, oh, I'm going to receive the gold. So inspiration and aspiration. This is where the practice of inspiration and aspiration comes into place. Oh, what time? 9, 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. So we still have time. Yeah. So anyway, through that, yeah. So then, so realizing this is the important part of understanding karma, and through that, I think the practice of the body, speech, and mind, all of the different practice that you have studied in regards to body, speech, and mind, all of these come into this, right? The concept of karma, creating the right action, creating the right intention, and awareness, all of this. So that is there. Then through that, I think the core practice of the what we say, core practices of the what is it, Keo Bardo, what is it, a life bardo of life bardo, I don't know what you want to call, but yeah, anyway, the core practices of that, stabilizing in regards to stabilization. So in regards to that, then comes the what is the Tsuldim is the second paramita that which enforces ethicals and moral means and discipline, we say, right? So that practice of the second paramita comes into play, and through that also meditation, gom, we say, right? Gom is to contemplate, actually. Yeah, whether it be contemplating on focus, contemplating on results, contemplating on conditioning, contemplating on truth, contemplating on essence, whatever it may be. So this one comes into play, and then through for that one, I think generally most popular means and methods consists of two things, which is shamatha and vipassana. Yeah, shamatha, contemplating meditation through or is calm abiding. Yeah, the practice of calm abiding through the 9 stages of the mind training. That one. Then after that is vipassana. Yeah, what we say. Uh, 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 Concept of, I think vipassana is mostly focused on the development of the concept of impermanence. Yeah, oneself. Uh, Impermanence in oneself, and in the concept of no self, as they say, Dharma, right? Dharma is no self. So anyway, so that too, those are the establishments, I think. Then in regards to another practice, I think Guru Yoga. Yeah, Guru Yoga. Um, is a little bit of a tough subject for a lot of people, because they start to see their gurus misbehaving and that, and then a lot of questions come up. So anyway, um, uh, for me, I think quite simple. For me, I try to make it as simple as possible. I always say there's a huge difference between devotion and obedience. Yeah, this one you always need. I think I always keep this in mind. And the huge difference between devotion and obedience. And that's not devotion. Right? You are devoted to your husband, your wife. That doesn't mean you're obedient to your husband and your wife. So this is very clear. It's already there. So anyway, in practice of the Guru devotion, you just don't mistake obedience with devotion. Because with devotion, then you learn a lot. With obedience, you don't learn much. The obedience you become more just like a what we say is similar to is similar to was a blind faith and faith, I think. Yeah. Uh, with faith, then you learn a lot. But with blind faith, then you don't learn much. So I think same thing here. Yeah, devotion and obedience. So establishing trust in the awakening mind. This is one of the first teachings. I mean, even before the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths, even before Buddha was in, what it manifested the state of enlightenment. The moment Buddha was born, he took 7 steps. Yeah, that time he already establishing the trust in the awakening mind. We say, I am the one who's the awakened mind. So anyway, so this is I think one of the first teachings of the Buddha uh, before he was enlightened. So this establishing the trust in the awakening mind. This also comes to the practice of the Guru Yoga. Then creating recognition in the bardo of what we say bardo we say bardo the true state of the bardo, because the awakened mind is the ability to like I said, one of the most useful and less effort utilization of your what we say your mind that creates benefit is through the bardo state, and this one we'll go much deeper into when we talk about it. But for now, just to get an idea, the Guru devotion state is that is the bardo or bardo. Then, I think lastly, like I said, the main concept of the training itself in the bardo of life itself, I think consists of many different things. But then three important thing is uh, what we say identifying death. That practice is very important at this point, right? So uh, when it comes to identifying death, and there's many different practices. Yeah, one of the more what do we say more uh, popular ones is called Che. Yeah, the Che practice is based on the concept of death, impermanence of death. This is the realization of death itself comes from the chair practice, I think. So anyway, so through that, what was a rehearsal, the concept of rehearsing the state of death itself. Now this one we'll go deeper into later on, because there's many stages in the concept of death itself. So through the concept, every stage of the concept of death, then there is rehearsal. Because I think main thing that we need to focus in regards to experience is the senses. So there are sensal rehearsals in regards to death. Then the state of the mind. The second thing is the state of the mind. When death is coming, then the mind going through all kinds of different states. So the second thing we will be talking about is the state of the mind. Yeah, and then comes the what we say state of awareness. So even if the experience is so what we say so engrossing, yeah, when the experience is so harsh, then the awareness, most times the awareness disappears. So it's building the awareness through the sensation and through the conflicts or the mind stream. Yeah, so that one is, I think, what needs to be developed. And this one, like I said, we'll go into the bardo of death, and during the bardo of death, then we will talk about all of these states, and through the different states, then the practice of the states we will also talk about. Today is more about living, not about dying. so, so that one, and then I think, then I think in regards to that one also, one of the main practices that we will again talk about would be state of what we say separation. Yeah, so um, the I, me and my, the clinginess, the grasping attitude, what it is grasping towards, that one we need to start to separate before it even starts, right? right? So the separation part is I think the ultimate state where the utilization of the channels are impacted, impact. So the impact comes in the utilization of the channels in the separation. So without the separation, then you cannot integrate. Without the integration, then realization doesn't come. So that's where the separation, practice of the separation comes. Also within the turtle is what a liberation. Yeah, liberation in the death. This is what liberation in the death is. This is the realization of the awareness and realization of the true nature of separation itself. So that is turtle, right? So that is there. Then comes in regards to the mind, because the mind goes through all kinds of different states, and the hardest one in regards to state is unconscious. Yeah, so when you are unconscious, then nothing is realized. Yeah, the time goes by, things go by, change happens, that happens, but the realization is not there. So again, so to be to what we say, to inherit, right? We say inherit, yeah, to inherit the state of unconsciousness in order to change our state of mind in that unconsciousness. I think that is the ultimate practice within the state of death itself, because the separation happens. Then once the separation happens, there's many people give different examples. I mean, many teachers give different examples, but if you think about sleep, then I think we can come quite close to the understanding of the state itself of unconsciousness, right? um, what time is it? Sheila, time is okay?
It's
We have
8:30,
time?
but take your time. We have loads of time. It's 8:30
Ah,
here,
okay.
but
So
please take your time.
ah
We're okay.
what, until what time?
Uh, And until now. Yeah, but please, we're okay.
Oh, until now, okay.
Yeah, but we're okay.
Any question?
I've got one, please, Rinpoche. Sorry. So,
Yes.
just before you said that a bardo is a path of accumulation, can be a path of
Yes.
accumulation. I've actually never heard that before, because I always think of the bardo as the intermediary state. So is it in the intermediary state that we can accumulate? Or is now saying there's a jiwa bardo? Is that in our daily life we can accumulate?
So it's like this.
I'm just a little bit confused, sorry.
Oh, so yeah, it is confusing. It is confusing. So the path of accumulation can happen different states, right? All states have path of accumulation, whether it be the whether it be the what was the general state, living state right now. So the living state, so that one also there is path of accumulation. Then क्या about the part, the one we're talking about, there also you can achieve the path of accumulation. In regards to path of accumulation, there's three different kinds of path of accumulation. Yeah, one, two, the lower practice path accumulation. Yeah, so what we say, yeah, hearing only path, and self liberation, or self solitary liberation path. So in both of them, there's also a path of accumulation. Now, the one we are talking about is, we are talking about in the Maha practice, right? Maha practice is the higher practice. So in the Maha practice, where the establishment of the three principal aspects of the path integrates the path itself, that one, the path, the path of accumulation is there. Anyway, so the path of accumulation can happen in any state. Yeah, it can happen in the Kyawa state. It can happen in the Gombe Bardo, what the meditation state. It can happen in the dying state. It can happen in the Bardo state. Then it can also be happen in the state of rebirth, right? So even though this accumulation can happen anywhere, the utilization. So there's again best place to do what, right? So best place for realization, they say, is what do we say? What do we say? Mm, mm, Human realm. So best state for realization, human realm. The practice of realization is human realm. Best state of accumulation is the bardo state. Yeah, because the example I gave, I think, sort of like consists of the idea. My teacher, when he gave me the example, this sort of stuck with me because he said, if before sleep you have good intention, good motivation, there's prayer before sleep, and then you sleep, then whole night you accumulate the the it's like the mind is continuously practicing in that. If you
This
sleep
is
down with anger, hatred, then all night again accumulation happening. Yeah, negative karma seed. Huh?
mm,
Hello?
yep.
Hello? I don't know, my computer froze or something.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
you
not
hear me?
sure.
Hello? Yeah.
I
Yes,
can,
you were
we can
saying?
hear you. We can hear you.
Uh, Yeah, so anyway, coming back to the point. This, I think, not that I have any experience, but um, through that, my understanding sort of thing is, when, because it's mentioned in the text that the accumulation sort of like great in that state, clear light state. Yeah, you call it clear light state, where the mind is going into a state of true realization, meaning in regards to accumulation of, whether it be accumulation of karma, whether it be accumulation of realization, whether it be accumulation of practice, whatever it may be. Because once your mind is focused, there's no distraction. It doesn't go all over the place. This is the clear light state. So anyway, that state, if you can utilize that state to accumulate, then the most beneficial, I think the most beneficial part of accumulation happens there, or the most amount, or I don't know how to measure, but something like that.
Oh, thank you, Rinpoche.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think uh, we stop here. We
Hi,
have a
Rinpoche.
question.
Yeah,
Yes,
at,
hello.
at
What's this?
Clear Light Rinpoche, our job is to recognize the clear light and then
Huh.
achieve liberation there. So is that what you mean by accumulation?
No. Accumulation is another practice, right? If you we say no, it takes accumulation. I think is more of, in regards to merit. I think it's more. Uh, I don't know how to explain this exactly, but it's in regards more to do with merit. So
Okay.
it's a different form of conditioning, right? So in the clear light state of the clear light is utilized to accumulate, so that the seed, what do we say, the sub the seed has the right measure, what do we say, has the right enforcements of conditioning around it. So we say, no, just sitting there in the room and sitting down and putting your hands together and praying is not good enough, right? That cannot lead you to enlightenment. Yeah. So enlightenment, there's a lot of forces that are required. Yeah, like just like a tree growing. Mm. If I if I take a seed, if I take a seed and I put it in the ground and I expect the tree to grow, will it grow or not? There's still a doubt, because there's so much conditioning involved. Yeah, let's say there's no water in that place, then the tree doesn't grow. Let's say there's no sunshine in that place, then the tree also doesn't grow. Let's say there's no air in that place, then the again doesn't grow, right? And this is just a few of the ones that we know. Let's say a crow comes and picks out the seed. These are also different conditioning to make the seed not grow. So there's many unaccounted sort of things, that conditionings that need to be in regards to our own body. You can see, right, every state of, on the nails you need the nail polish, on the hand you need the cream, on the face you need the sunscreen, on the hair you need the, I don't know, hair dye or whatever, on the body you need the clothes. So there are so many conditionings in all of this. So accumulation is the accumulation part where my teacher explains it, before you go into war, then you need, is you can't go naked into war, right? If you go naked into war, then you're not going to win anything. So you need all of the necessary utensils. You need the bulletproof vest, you need good shoes, good helmet. That's so similar to that, you know. In going on to the path to liberation, you need a lot of different things, yeah, because depending on conditioning, you start to things. You meet your guru based on conditioning as well, right? So even that you need what we say merit, as we say. So accumulation, one state of accumulation is merit. Second state of accumulation is in regards to, I think, consistency, practice. Yeah, even in regards to practice also you need to accumulate, right? So there's many states of accumulation. Mostly generally people say merit. I don't know what exactly merit means, but they say merit. So generally that's the state of accumulation, where the accumulation of the merit, where you're going into. So even in the five paths, Cholam, Jolam, Tholam, Golam, Milolam, even in the five paths, the first path is the path of accumulation. Solam, then Jolam, through the accumulation, then you reach, after you have everything ready, then you reach the point of going into war or going into fighting or whatever it may be. So that is the point of arriving, we say, Jolam, right? Then after arriving, then you start to see the scenery, where this is that, what is that, these things. So the path of seeing. So anyway, in that process, the accumulation part is the most important one, because the accumulation part is going to give you the right necessary, is accumulating the right necessary things in order to have the right mindset, to meet the right guru, to be in the right condition, right? Precious human rebirth, we pray, oh, may I have a precious human rebirth. Precious human rebirth itself comes from the path of accumulation, I mean practice of accumulation. Without accumulation, then how are you going to have the merit to be born as a in the precious together with with accumulation? So it's one of the first states of truly going on to the journey. Make sense?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think we stop here for this session. Then I think next what is next one, we're going into the uh, state of dreaming. Yeah, bardo, bardo state of dreaming. So I will go into that next one. I hope you all enjoy, and like I said, always when it comes to practice, always keep joy in it. Yeah, first thing, focus on joy. Yeah, you look whether there's joy or not. Is there joy? If there is joy, then practice definitely excel. And no joy, then you need to first worry about the practice later and first figure out how to bring joy. Be inspired. Look for inspiration. This is, I think, the means of practice. So anyway, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. I think next week we are seeing we have session next week or no?
Yes,
To
we do.
Christmas, everyone going
No,
on holiday.
we'll
But
be here during
there's
Christmas
no,
anyway.
yeah. So okay, good. Yeah, good. So I'll see you next week. Uh, yeah, you have a good week. And like I said, motivation again. Sim chus chulam the lam la bhaje mewa. May my mind go towards the practice. Then may the practice go towards the path. Then during walking the path, then may there be no obstacles on the path. Yeah, that one I always keep as a dedication. So thank you so much. Chanju semjo rinpoche ma ye banam ke gyuje kyawa nyamba me bayam khone kondo phewa sho tonye tawa rinpoche ma ye banam ke kyawa nyamba me bayam khone kondo phewa sho temge sude ke me che sude namba da ne lo sa me pe su sude mbaro chendo